Hi, this is Anu and welcome back to my channel. How are you today? So glad you decided to hang out with me for another tutorial. And today we are going to create together a super cute beach cover up that is super easy to make, and it's a new technique that I want to show you. You actually create your garment from the top down and mostly crochet in the round. The stitches I use are single crochet, so chain single crochet, double crochet, and bobble stitch, increasing and decreasing, but it's really not hard. Here is the beautiful cover up. Look how gorgeous it is. I loved it so much that I made, I think, 5 or 6 of them because my friend Maya and her family went on vacation. I sent it to them and they wore it and did took little pictures for me to show you. So here you can see it in all different sizes and different colors. And the different ways of wearing it too. I will, as usual, take it through it slowly but surely. I would say it's a light intermediate level project, so not for total beginner, but you don't have to be experienced at all to create it. I used one of my favorite yarn, the Wolltraum yarn. The color that I have for this one here is Eye in the Sky, but as I show you here in the pictures, I loved it so much that I made it in so many colors. And yes, so if you are not subscribed to my channel, don't hesitate, it's totally free. Click on the subscribe button. Sorry, little plant, you are doing so well. It's doing so well. It's very happy here. It has the perfect, I think, light, moisture and everything. I'm really proud of this one. Anyway, go back and focus, Anu. I know you can do it. What was I saying? Yes, don't hesitate to subscribe. I would love for you to come and join my crochet family. Also, don't hesitate to click on that little bell to be notified every time I post something new. It's not enough to be subscribed. YouTube changed an algorithm, so if you want not to miss anything, just click on that little bell and then you will be notified every time something goes live. I also tend to answer right as soon as the video goes live. I spend an hour just like making sure I answer your comments, but then after that there are too many and I have other things to do, so it's nice to be right there when I upload it. What else can I tell you? Follow me on my social media right here. Congratulations to all the winners from my last giveaway. For this time, I thought it would be cool for one of you to earn all the material necessary to create the dress today. That means the crochet hook, the scissors, the tapestry needle, and the yarn. The only thing you need to do to be able to participate in this giveaway is 1, to be subscribed, 2, to comment in the comment box down below. That's all. You just need to comment and I will randomly choose one of you that will get all the material to create this beach cover up. What I love about this beach cover up is that it is so casual and so versatile. If you make it smaller, it can be a top. And if you make it longer, it can be a dress. It can be tight, it can be loose. It is your choice. You are in control. The one that I am creating today is small medium. I will have in a few days on my blog the written patterns as usual. Every time I post a video, it takes a few days and then it goes on my blog. Here is the address to my blog, and then usually I have smaller sizes and mainly bigger sizes. So yeah. That's about it. I am not sure if this video is going up before or after my Pride Month toiletry bag that I created. I wanted it to happen in June, but I'm not sure it will because my mother-in-law is lining it and putting a zipper on it right now. So even though I'm a little late and it might be uploaded in July, it is still coming. And happy Pride Month for everyone in the LGBTQ community. Here in Boston, it was amazing. Boston really embraced Pride Month and it was so nice to see. And New York too, by the way, when I went to New York. So yes, next time will be the toiletry bag I promised you. Here is a little hint of what it will look like. Super gorgeous. I love all the cheerful color. But for today, if you are interested in knowing how to crochet this beautiful beach cover up, then keep on watching. And in the meantime, I will see you next time. Happy crochet. Bye. So as I said, the yarn I use is the 4-ply Wolltraum Eye in the Sky. For a crop top, 150 gram. For beach cover up, 250 gram. And if you want a maxi dress, I would use the 350 or 400 milligrams. You will also need a 3.25 millimeter crochet hook, as well as scissors and a tapestry needle. Alright, take your yarn and make a slip knot, and then you're going to proceed by chaining 90. Since we are going to be crocheting in the round, I will show you a trick not to twist your chain, your base chain. When you have 7 chain, drop your stitch and put your crochet hook in the first chain you had made. Then pass your crochet hook through the second loop and continue with the 2 loops on your crochet hook to chain. But when you have 90 chain, take a stitch marker and place it right on your 90th chain, and then continue making 90 more. So in total you will have 180 stitches, 180 chains, with a stitch marker in the middle. And then once you have your 180 chains, you just pass the second loop into the first one, and just like that you have joined. We are now going to chain 3, and in that same stitch you chain 3, make another double crochet. The first chain 3 will count as your first double crochet, and then you are going to proceed by making double crochet in each chain until you reach your stitch marker. I will show you what to do once you reach your stitch marker. Take your stitch marker out right now. In that chain, you're going to make 2 double crochet, chain 3, and then in that same chain make 2 more double crochets. Will create one of the 2 points that you want. Remember, we began by making chain 3 and 1 double crochet in the same stitch. That is the half of the second point, and we will get to there very soon. So now you're going to continue by making a double crochet in each of the chains that you will encounter, so the 89 next chains. And I will meet you once you meet the end of your round, of your first round. So where we had made our chain 3 at that base, you're going to make 2 double crochets inside that same base of the chain 3 we had made at the beginning of your first round. Then you're going to chain 3 and you're going to slip stitch at the top of the chain 3 we had made at the beginning of the round, and you are done with your first round. This is the base of your dress. It is really going to be the neckline. Chain 4, skip 1 double crochet, and then in the next make a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and in the next a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, and in the next stitch make a double crochet. And you are going to do that until we reach the next point we had created. Right there at the beginning, remember? And once you reach there, you're going to chain 1 and make a double crochet right there in that double crochet before the chain 3, chain 1, and in that chain 3 space you're going to make a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet in that same chain 3 space. Then you're going to chain 1, skip a double crochet, chain 1 and make a double crochet on top of the first double crochet after the chain 3, just like that. And then you're going to chain 1, skip a stitch, and make a double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch and make a double crochet. Continue until you reach the other point. I will meet you right there. All right, we are at the end of our second round. Chain 1, skip a stitch, make a double crochet. You have reached your chain 3, and we are going to repeat. Chain 1, make a double crochet in the chain 3, chain 3, in that same chain 3 space make a double crochet. Then you're going to chain 1 and you're going to join at the top of the chain 3, not the 4th chain, the chain 3, and then that will count as a double crochet and a chain 3. And you're done with your second round. And now for the third round, chain 3 will count as your first double crochet. And then in that same stitch, make another double crochet. And then another, that's 3. We're creating a bubble. And then another one, that's 4. And another one, that's 5. Now you're going to drop your stitch and you're going to pass your crochet hook on top of the first chain 3 you had made. Grab the stitch you had dropped, pass it through the second loop on your hook and chain 1. And you just create a bubble. Then you're going to make a double crochet in the chain 1 space and a double crochet on top of the double crochet, a double crochet in the chain 1 space. That gives you 3 double crochets in between your bubble. Then in the next stitch, again in that same next stitch, you're going to make 5 double crochets. That's 3, 4 and 5. You're going to drop your stitch again. Count 5 stitches backward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pass your crochet hook to the 5th stitch through the loop you have dropped. The loop you have dropped, pass it through the first loop on your crochet hook and chain 1. And then again, that's what you're going to repeat all along the side of your dress. So a double crochet in the chain 1, a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the previous round, a double crochet in the next chain 1, and then make another bubble on top of the next double crochet. And you're going to continue that until you reach that point. Alright guys, here we go. Look how cute it looks. I love this color too. Can you imagine, with a little bit of a tan? Spray tan, of course, because sun is bad for you. Alright, you're going to make your 3 last double crochets. So in the chain 1 space, on top of the double crochet, and in the chain 1 space you have a bubble and 3 double crochet, and in that double crochet before the chain 3 you're going to make a bubble. 5 double crochet in the same stitch, drop your stitch. You know the drill by now. Chain 1, and then in the chain 3 space make 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 2 double crochets. Remember, we are at the third round and we're still creating the upper part of your dress, the v-neck. Alright, so in the next, on top of the next double crochet, make a bubble. Chain 1, And you continue the same way. You're going to make 3 double crochets, and then in the next one you're going to make your bobble. And you will do the same in the second pointy part. So you will do 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 2 double crochets in the chain 3 space. And then you are going to make a double crochet on top of the double crochet, a double crochet in the chain 1, and then you are going to slip stitch on top of your bobble. It's okay if the 2 points are not exactly the same, so your first point had a bobble right next to the chain 3, the other one didn't. That is fine. For your 4th round, you're going to chain 4, skip a stitch and make a double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, make a double crochet in the next. It might happen to be right on top of the bobble, and that's fine. Chain 1, skip a stitch, make a double crochet in the next, and that is what you're going to do all around that 4th round. I will show you what to do when you meet the point. Here we go, we are at the 4th round and we're meeting our chain 3. So you're going to chain 1. In that chain 3, you're going to make a double crochet, chain 3, and a double crochet. And then continue until the end of your round 4, chaining 1, skipping a stitch, making a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, make a double crochet, until you meet the 2nd point and the end of your 4th round. And in the chain 3 space again, you're going to make a double crochet, 3 chains and a double crochet. And here we go, 2nd point done. Continue until you reach the first chain 4 we had made at the beginning, and you're going to slip stitch on top of the chain 3. And this is what your work will look like. It's a circle with 2 pointy sides. So we basically created the V that is in the front and the back, and now we're going to no longer be crocheting in the round, we will be crocheting the front and the back separately. And here we are done with our 4th round. And now it's time to create the opening for the armhole. Fasten off. So now what we're going to do is, we did that circular part. We're not going to be working in the round anymore. We're going to do a front panel and a back panel. And then eventually we will join it together to create the armhole opening. So you're going to take 2 stitch markers and you're going to count from any of the pointy part. Count about 15 chain 1 double crochet opening. So see those little holes there? 15 of them from the point, and then you put a stitch marker and you count 15 opening, 15 little squares like that on the other side, and put your 2nd stitch markers, and you're going to be working in between those stitch markers, first in the front, then in the back. Now with your work facing you, join your yarn where you had put the stitch marker in one of those little chain 1 space, and you are going to chain 3. It will count as 1 double crochet, and then you're going to make a double crochet on top of the double crochet from the round 5. But remember, you no longer are crocheting in the round, we're going to be crocheting in rows now. So this is row 5. And for this 5th row, you are going to make a double crochet on top of each double crochet and in every chain 1 space. And I will meet you once you meet the point. You will have 1 point that you're working on right from the front, and then later we'll do the back. So when you reach that chain 1, remember you are going to make 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 2 double crochet in the point. Then you're going to continue making a double crochet in each stitch until you reach the 2nd stitch marker. This time you're going to chain 4, turn around, skip a stitch for row 6, and make a double crochet in the next, chain 1, skip a stitch, make a double crochet, And then when you reach your point, you're going to make inside that point a double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet. You're going to continue until you reach the end of your row. Here we have met the point. You know what to do. A double crochet, chain 3 and a double crochet. Super easy, right? I'm so excited to see this yarn changing color in front of my eyes. Makes it so nice. It's going to gradually become a lighter. All right, you're at the end of your row. You chain 3, you turn your work around, and you double crochet in the chain 1 space, double crochet on top of the next. And in the next stitch, you are going to make a bubble. So you have your chain 3 that counts as your first double crochet, a double crochet inside the chain 1 space from the previous row, and then a bubble stitch, which you know how to do. It is 5 double crochet in the same stitch. Drop your stitch, go to the 5th double crochet, pass your crochet hook through that, through the loop, pass your loop through your first loop, and chain 1. And you're going to continue like that, making your 3 double crochets and then your bubble stitch until you reach the point. We are at our 7th row. So what we want to create is a front and a back that is pointy like that. And you understood with the point by now, you have different kinds of rounds or row. One is with all double crochet, and when that's the case, the point is 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet. And then when you have a row or a round of, for example, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, when you reach the point, then you do only a double crochet, chain 3, double crochet in the point. A bubble row or round will be 2 double crochet, chain 3, and 2 double crochet. So those are the 3 different kind of rows you can have, and the way you handle the point is going to be very consistent. Here you go, and when you reach the point, you're going to make 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 2 double crochets in that chain 3 space. All right, and then on top of the next double crochet, you are going to make a bubble. Chain 1, then 3 double crochet, a bubble, 3 double crochet until you reach the end of your row. And you are going to continue this pattern for until you reach 16 rows in total. So continuing making, finishing now this row of bubbles, and then you're going to have 1 row of DC chain 1, skip 1, and then a row of double crochet, then again a row of DC chain 1, skip 1, a row of bubble, a row of DC chain 1, skip 1, a row of double crochet, etc., etc., until you reach 16 rows. Once you have 16 rows, you go to the other side and you repeat exactly the same thing. So putting your stitch markers on the other side, counting 15 little squares from the point down on one side and then on the other, and then repeating until you have 16 rows. And when you have 16 rows on both, I will then show you how to create the armholes. And to create the armholes and at the same time continuing the body of your dress, we're going to be crocheting in the round again. I will show you how to join. And by crocheting again in the round, we will actually close this part and leave this part open, just creating the armholes and therefore creating the armhole opening. Super easy, right? At the end of the 16th row of your front, you didn't fasten off. You're turning your work around and you're making the 17th row, which is a row of double crochet all along. So you make a double crochet in each and every one of the stitches, may it be the chain 1 or the on top of the double crochet. When you reach the point, you make 2 double crochets, chain 3 and 2 double crochets. And at the end of your 17th round, we're going to attach it with the back part you had created before. So now we are assembling the back to the front, creating the body. We will be crocheting in the round. So in the last stitch, you are going to make kind of a half a stitch. I'll show you that again in slow motion. All right, so what you did is you yarned over, you went into on top of the chain 3 right there from the beginning of your row, and then you yarn over back through the stitch. You have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Stop there, then go to the other side of your panel, to the front one, the one you had created before, and now you're going to pass your crochet hook on top of the chain 3 you had created before right there. Yarn over and right back through that loop. You have 4 loops on your crochet hook. Take that loop, pass it through 2 of the loops. You have 2 loops on your crochet hook. Yarn over and through all the loops on your crochet hook, and just like that you have made a stitch to assemble both of the sides together. And then in the chain 1 space, make your first double crochet. And now the front and the back are joined together at the bottom of the armhole. And what you're going to do now for the next row on the other side of your work is just making double crochets everywhere. So continue making double crochets. So you were working on the back side of your body, now you're working on the front. You joined the back to the front at the bottom of your armhole. And I will meet you. You're going to continue, make your point, which is 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet, and I will meet you at the end of that side. And then on the other side, at the end of your round, you're going to assemble your front to your back again. There's a slight little difference, but it's very, very similar. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, so you're at the end of your 17th round. You want to assemble the other side, the front to the back. So in the last stitch, you're going to go on top of the chain 3, yarn over, pass your crochet hook through the stitch, yarn over and back. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, and that's okay, just leave it like that. Go to the other side. But this time, instead of passing it through the top of the first chain 3, you're going to pass your crochet hook at the bottom of that chain 3 on the other side, right there. And then yarn over and right back. You have 4 loops on your crochet hook, and then you are going to take that first loop, pass it through the 2 loops on your crochet hook. You have 2 loops left, yarn over and through both of the loops. And just like that, you are assembled. From now on, you will be crocheting in the round. This is the end of your round 17. You are going to slip stitch at the top of that first chain 3. Voila! And from now on, you're going to be crocheting in the round. Let's tackle our 18th round. Beginning of your 18th round, first you're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet, and then you're going to chain 4. And this will count as your first double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch. And from now on, we will be again having 2 points to deal with. So you know what to do when you reach your point. When you have a round of double crochet, skip a stitch, chain 1. When you reach your point, you're going to have 1 double crochet, chain 3, and 1 double crochet in the point. Eventually your work will look like that. This is the opening for the armhole. This is where we began to crochet in the round, and you will continue like that, crocheting in the round, around and around until the length of your choice. I will just show you what to do when you reach the sides, the seam underneath the armhole when you had joined. So the way you handle the seam on the side is different depending if you have a round of double crochet, a round of double crochet, chain 1, or a round of bubble. So let me show you in each case what to do. So you did the front part and you did your round of double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. When you have 2 double crochet left, you're just going to let them be chain 1. The middle one is the one that you join, so it doesn't count. Skip 2 double crochet on the other side of your armhole and make a double crochet in the third. Here we go. Do not worry, it's gonna make kind of an hexagon, kind of a hole. No one will notice that eventually. Then you chain 1, you skip a stitch, double crochet, and you continue that until you reach your point. In your point, you do a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and you continue until you reach the end of your round. At the end of your round, you're going to leave 3 double crochets untouched, and you are going to make a double crochet on top of the first double crochet from the other side. And then for that 19th round, I think we are at, you're going to make a double crochet in the chain 1 space, and then on top of the next double crochet you're going to make a bobble. So this round is going to be a round of bobble, pretty regular round of bobble. So 3 double crochets in between your bobble. Don't forget to end your bobble with a chain. When you reach the point, inside the point this time you have 2 double crochet, chain 3 and 2 double crochets, and I'll show you what to do when you meet underneath both of the armholes again. Okay, so you have reached the side underneath the armhole, and what you're going to do is make a double crochet in the last chain 1 before that kind of hexagon we had created. You are going to skip 1 double crochet, 1 chain and 1 double crochet, and make another double crochet in the next chain 1. And then you're going to continue in pattern. So a double crochet in the next chain 1, and then a bobble, then 3 double crochet, etc. And here we are at the end of our round, and I'll show you how to do the other seam. So you're going to make a double crochet in the last chain 1 space, skip a double crochet, a chain 1, and then you are going to slip stitch with the first double crochet you had made. And for the next round, you're going to slip stitch in the next stitch right there, and then in the next stitch too. So slip stitch until you are on top of the first bobble you had made, and for the next round it's going to be chain 4, which will count as a double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, a double crochet, and you will continue like that in pattern. In the point you will have a double crochet, chain 3 and double crochet, and I will meet you once you reach the other seam. And what you'll do is just make a double crochet on top of the bobble, chain 1, and then a double crochet on top of the bobble on the other side of the side seam. Let me show you what you do when you reach the end of that round. You are just going to finish by making a double crochet, chain 1, and then slip stitch with the double crochet on the other side. And then you're going to chain 1 until you're in the middle of that chain 1 space, so past the first double crochet, and then in that chain 1 space you make a chain 3, and then on top of the next double crochet you make a double crochet, and you make a round of double crochet all around. I will show you what to do once you reach the seam. So here you go. What you're going to do is make a double crochet in the chain 1 before that kind of hexagon seam in the middle. Skip a double crochet, chain 1, skip a double crochet again, and then make a double crochet in the chain 1 on the other side of the seam. And then continue in pattern, double crochet all around, 2 double crochet, chain 3, 2 double crochet in the point, of course, and then we'll show you what you do once you reach the end of a round with all double crochet. When you reach the end, you are going to leave a double crochet, a chain, and a double crochet untouched. You're going to chain one and slip stitch at the top of the first chain 3 you had made. And to begin the next round, you're going to slip stitch to the next double crochet right there. And this is where you're going to begin your next round, which is 4 chains. That will count as your first double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet in the next stitch, and then we continue in pattern doing a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, etc., etc. And you're going to continue like that until you reach the length of your choice. And that is it, my friend. This is what your beautiful beach cover up looks like. So you are going to work in rounds for as long as you want. If you want a crop top, then you make it short. If you want a beach cover up, you make it longer, and if you want a maxi dress, you make it really, really, really long. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial as much as I have enjoyed creating it for you. I'm looking forward to many, many more. In the meantime, happy crochet. I will see you next week for many other tutorials. Ta-ta for now. Bye. I will take you, as usual, slowly but surely through it. I will take you, as usual, slowly, and then I'm going to drool too. I will. What else? Hey, I'm the only one of you. Na company. Ooh. Guys, I tried these magnetic lashes. Have you tried them? Not the one that have magnets on both, like you clip them. Those are horrendous. No, it's a new brand, and you actually put eyeliner, and the eyeliner itself is magnetic. Isn't it genius? And then you just put your lashes and book. I never know how to apply lashes, but I think I like it. I just wonder if that magnetized eyeliner is really healthy for you.